Hello Goddess podcast. I am your host, Mandy Dia, a recently graduated naturopath. And today we have a special guest. Her name is Amanda Fite. Hi, Amanda.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. So, Amanda is a licensed massage therapist. She also does Reiki, and she is a hypnosis practitioner. And she's the owner of Forum Integrative Health, located in Rochester, New York. I'm so excited to have you on the show.
I'm so excited to be here.
Yay, this is awesome. You're doing so many things. That's so amazing that you're doing multiple modalities.
It has been a really fun journey to add on to my original massage services, even just expanding the massage services themselves.
Mhm.
It has been really, really fun to add on those additional practices and really put them into work with my clients.
That's fascinating. So you started out with just the massage, is that correct?
I did, yeah. I realized when I was speaking to a client the other day that I have been doing massage for 21 years. And I actually had to think about that for a second because I thought in my head, I'm not actually that old. So how could I
Yeah,
be
I
now?
was gonna say, like, how's that even possible? Did you start at 10?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I originally got into massage. I've always had kind of a fascination with science and the way the human body works and the way that
Mhm.
our minds work and all of the psychology behind what we do.
Yeah.
And I have always had an interest in massage, even since I was little. But my sister actually went to massage school
Oh,
and yeah, it runs in the
okay.
family.
Is she
So
your older sister?
she is my older sister. So she's been
Okay.
doing massage a couple more years than I have been. And
Okay.
that was a real inspiration. She actually took me to her school, got to go to a cadaver lab and see the
Wow.
dissections, which
Okay.
was so fascinating for me to go. And
Mm.
then she brought her table to my parents' house at the time because I'm younger than her, obviously. And she worked on my dad's shoulder. And I was like, I want to be able to fix people like she fixed dad. Like, I want to do that. And so
Yeah,
it kind of snowballed from there. And it's been an awesome journey ever since.
that's amazing. And did you open the business at the same time, or what was that process going into entrepreneurship?
I really kind of dragged my feet with being an entrepreneur. I wanted to see as many people as I possibly could when I first started. So
Okay.
I worked in a couple of different salons. I worked at a chiropractor's office. I worked in a doctor's office for a little while with pregnant
Mhm.
women and
Oh, wow.
children. Um,
Mm.
and I really dragged my feet a lot as I was deciding what I wanted to do. So
Right.
I ended up not, let's see, it's probably been 15 years, maybe 14 years since I went out on my own. And I
Mm.
started off at this great place called the Retreat House Massage and Wellness Center. The woman who owned the
Wow.
place just was an amazing mentor. Her name's Gail Valenti. She is an awesome practitioner. She's a wonderful friend. And she really helped me understand what
Hmm.
business can be like and a compassionate business owner, how they should act
Mm.
towards their employees and their
Yeah.
tenants, and how everybody deserves grace.
Hmm.
And I've carried that through into my current business ownership. I
Hmm.
actually purchased my current business from Gail when she was ready to scale back her practice. So
Okay.
it's been a good evolution.
Hmm. That's fascinating. And I love what you said about bringing compassion and grace into your business because, like, it's such a precious thing to be able to offer services to people and them coming to you and trusting you with their energy. And you want to be able to, create that environment where they feel safe and, that kindness and compassion is such an important element. I infuse that in my practice as well. So I love that you said that. And so I was wondering too, like when you started to do massage therapy, what was the thing that you saw the most with the clients that came to you?
So when I was working in the salon, it was a lot of people who really just needed that time out.
Mm,
And I was more of a deep tissue specialist when I started practicing. So I have since learned that the human body needs to feel safe, and just muscling people through uh, whatever their issue is not the
mhm.
most effective technique. But that's kind of how I started. So
Yeah.
I got um, the reputation of being a deep tissue specialist at the
Mhm.
salon I was working at and the spa I was working at. And so
Mhm.
I saw a lot of those clients at first that really, really
Mhm.
wanted that deep work, that
Mhm.
they had some specific issue that they needed to be teased out. Um, so obviously since then I've been educated by a lot of different continuing education that has taught me otherwise,
Mhm.
which is really nice. But when I
Yeah.
first started off, it was a lot of people who needed the deep work and had specific issues that they
Mhm.
wanted to address.
Mm.
So that has evolved into more of a practice that revolves around using the client's breath to help them relax. I
Yeah.
use what, when I took the continuing education class, it was coined as medical massage, but the gentleman basically taught the people in the class how to work with the client's body and listen to their body to give them the
Mhm.
pressure that they need with a technique that is a very pinpointed type of light pressure, which
Mhm.
unwinds the muscle instead of forcing it to unwind. And
Mm.
I honestly think that that's probably why I've been able to practice for 21 years, because there's literally no way that I would have been able to continue practicing the way that I was when I was at the salon and spa. It was just
Mhm.
that way too much. So
Right.
I'm
With the
really
deep tissue
grateful.
was it was
Yeah.
more pressure, like more less intuitive.
Yeah, and really
Mhm.
hard on your body for no reason at all. Like, people respond
Interesting.
so much better when you listen to what their bodies are asking for. So,
Yeah, that's so fascinating. I think a lot of people, like for myself, I'm not very familiar with the whole career of massage therapy, but I know I kind of split it into two, like the relaxation massage and the deep tissue. But I'm assuming there's like a spectrum there and different ways to approach it. And like you're saying, you're adding your own intuition and communicating with your clients and I'm curious to see too if your belief that the mind and the body are so connected, is that what influenced you to go into Reiki and hypnosis as well?
so I originally started with Reiki because I was looking for something to take the pressure off of my hands
Okay,
and,
I see.
yeah, give
Mm-hmm.
my hands a little bit of a break and elongate my career as I came to know that I was going to be doing this for a really long time,
Smart.
hoping that I was going to be able to do it for a really long time.
Yeah,
Um, so that's how I got into Reiki. And there was a woman at the retreat house when I was working there who was teaching Reiki certifications. And
nice.
so I jumped at that opportunity. And she was a wonderful teacher. She still is,
Mhm.
obviously, and just a great human. I learned a lot from her. Um, and I always had that feeling of knowing energy between my clients, passing between my clients and myself. And I wanted a
Mm,
little bit more control over how that happened. So that's what led me to Reiki. And
Mm-hmm.
then hypnosis got added on because I was my best friend's support person for the birth of her daughter. And it
Wow.
was a horrible experience for her. I felt
Oh,
so bad for her. It was basically everything that could have gone wrong went wrong type of
oh my goodness.
situation.
Okay.
And I left that experience thinking that there had to be a better way to go about
Mm-hmm.
doing childbirth rather
That's
than what
right.
she went through.
Yeah.
So I started doing a little bit of research, and I started with the idea that I would try to either become a doula or a
Mm,
massage therapist that somebody could hire to be in the room with them while they were giving birth, basically being like an additional support person. And you know, Google has all of the information, and I believe I just typed in easier paths for childbirth and hypnosis, hypnobirthing came up.
mm, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, I started looking into schools for hypnosis, and that led me to the Hypnotherapy Academy of America out in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Oh wow.
So I spent 10 weeks there. I'm
Nice.
technically a medically certified hypnosis practitioner, and
Okay.
I see clients from everything like you would think of the smoking cessation and the weight loss, all the way up to people with complex medical conditions. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Taking that course really cemented in that the mind and the body are intricately connected, and it is a gift to be able to have them working together in unison instead of feeling like your mind is off doing its own thing and that your body is off doing its own thing,
Mm-hmm.
when you can, with the correct tools, use your mind to exponentially enrich your life
Mm.
through your body, you know?
And I love that you're touching the different aspects of the body. I notice that with my clients as well, sometimes with Reiki, that they're hurting somewhere, but it's like a physical manifestation of something that they're still struggling with trauma or
Mhm.
repressed anger or repressed guilt or shame and all these things. And so it's nice to come at it with different angles, and that's really cool. So if you have a client, let's say she's struggling with really bad anxiety and panic attacks, would you recommend her seeing you for individual different services, or do you have more of an integrative approach with all of the different modalities that you do?
So, the way that my massage license works in New York State, I cannot blend modalities in the same session.
Okay.
So I can't wear multiple hats on the same session. So
Yeah.
I literally have to end one session. I will have some people who will go from their hypnosis session and take a small break, and then we'll do a massage or a Reiki session after that.
Mm. Hmm.
A lot of the times it's too much to integrate into their mind and body, doing multiple sessions in the same day.
Right.
Um, so I like to give people time to absorb what they are going through and kind of process all of the different things that they're either their body or their mind or both are
Yeah.
needing to process with the sessions. So I do try to keep things as separate as I can because of not only New York state laws, but to
Mm.
honor the space for my client for them to get the best benefit and do all of the processing that they need to do within the time frame without rushing things. I really do try.
That makes a lot of sense. Does make a lot of sense. So is there certain things like that are more common that people come to you for hypnosis and other things that are more like this is more of Reiki and this is more massage? Like how do you approach like if you have a client that comes to you with certain things, how do you know which direction to take them?
So I am of the firm belief that somebody has to believe that whatever modality they choose or that is chosen for them, that it's going to work for them. If
Mm,
they don't believe that it's going to work for them, then it's not going to work. So I try not to push people into specific modalities. I try to let them bring things up naturally. And I have had a lot of clients who have been massage clients who decide to do hypnosis. Um, Not so much the other way around because I have stopped taking new massage clients. But if they are
You were
interested
saying,
in
yeah.
I will refer them to another therapist in the practice.
Hmm.
Um, I am still taking new Reiki clients, so if they're interested in that, I will help them make a good decision for them. But
Hmm.
it's all about helping them make the decision for themselves so that they get the best
Hmm.
benefit from the sessions. I don't push people into things. It's
Yeah,
I'm of the firm belief they have to believe that it is going to work for them or else it isn't
yeah.
going to work, no matter what the modality is.
That is so true. Yeah, you have to believe it, and a lot of it has to do with having faith in what you're investing your energy into, and belief
Absolutely.
is such a powerful thing, no matter what you're doing in life. If you believe that you can or you can't, you're right. And so that applies to healing, you know? So yeah, that's so true. Yeah, I love that approach. Um, and I was wondering too, like for hypnosis, I've personally never experienced it yet. It's something that I would be interested in. Um, I was thinking of maybe doing it soon, but I know it's becoming more popular, like even with the birthing, I've heard that before. Um, do you see that some people have misconceptions about hypnosis? Have you encountered that before, or? What do people think like when they come to you with the desire to have hypnosis?
So most of the time people end up in the chair when they're supposed to be there. So by the time they get here, they have already come to the conclusion that I'm not a stage hypnosis performer. I'm not going to make them do anything that they don't want to do.
Mm.
But there are still people who come to me and say the only experience I have was at the Renaissance Festival when they did a stage performance and some guy took his shirt off and was running around the crowd swinging it around his head or
Oh,
whatever
geez.
the thing is. So
Yeah.
um I have had people come in and tell me these things, and I just try to help them understand that what I do is very different from what the stage hypnosis performers are doing.
Mm.
There's specific verbiage that those stage performers use to help people feel like they don't have control. And it's my job as a certified hypnosis practitioner to help the client feel like they have all of the control. Their results are in their control. How deep they go into hypnosis is in their control. They are the ones steering the boat. I am
Hmm.
just kind of shining a light in the dark so that they
Mm.
can see where they're going. Um, I will say I have probably had more people come to me with the myth that they cannot be hypnotized than
Yeah, I've heard
any.
that before. Yeah. Is that true or is it for everybody, really?
So you have to want to go into hypnosis in order to get there.
Okay.
And a lot of people think that they can't be hypnotized because they don't feel safe in the specific situation where they're trying to achieve hypnosis, like a stage
Mm.
performance.
Yeah, that's
So,
different for sure. Yeah.
mhm. So I have literally not had anybody who was not able to achieve some depth of hypnotic state while they were practicing. That I
Mm.
personally haven't run across it.
That's great. No, that's great news. And from correct me if I'm wrong there, but is it, getting into that wavelength where you're more open to connecting with your subconscious mind? Is that how it works?
Yeah, so hypnosis is almost the same exact brain wavelengths as sleep or meditation.
Mm.
And so in that space, you can relax the conscious mind and the filter between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind so that you have a direct line into the subconscious mind. The
Yeah.
subconscious mind is the seat of your imagination. It is where all of your memories are stored. It's where all of your emotional states happen, and it drives your actions in life. So you want to have access to that if you're trying to make a significant change. And a lot of
Mhm.
the time, our conscious mind keeps us from going into our subconscious mind and figuring out what's happening and what's keeping us from reaching our goals. So
Mhm.
hypnosis is just a vehicle to relax the conscious mind and the filter between the conscious and the subconscious mind so that you can gain access. It's like the conscious mind is kind of like the gatekeeper for the subconscious mind.
Mhm.
Subconscious mind is where all the good stuff happens, though. So
Yeah, that makes so much sense. I kind of picture it like a membrane where there's like holes, and if you're in that state where you're open to connecting with your subconscious, I guess I kind of hypnotize myself through meditation, my like just from my own practice, but it makes a lot
yeah,
of sense to it helps to have somebody that is specialized in hypnosis to guide you through it as well, and you might feel even safer having somebody to support you through that, I'm assuming.
yep.
Mm, yeah. And what about the Reiki? Tell me more about your practice.
Oh, I love the energy work. It's so wonderful.
Yeah.
I it's like a meditative state for me. I mean, and my clients most of the time. Um, I mean, for people that don't like touch, especially, my practice is completely hands off. And
Okay.
so it's
Yeah.
a good resource to have for people who don't like touch. Um, Oftentimes I find people that will come in and they're like, oh, my mind is so busy. My mind is so busy. I can't ever turn my brain off. And like five
Yeah.
minutes in, they're just silent and basically meditating, but not asleep. And they get up off the table and they're like, that is the most wonderful hour I've had
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
years, you
It's so
know?
powerful. Mm,
Yeah. So,
yeah.
and some people have had some really awesome, really powerful changes in their life just
Hmm.
from energy work and the corresponding homework that goes with the energy work. Sometimes I'll assign people some meditative stuff or some
Mm,
journaling. Um, I try to intuitively figure out what is going to push them in the right direction and
hmm.
assign that after their session for when they go home. Because
Hmm.
it's 100% my goal for every client that comes into my office is to help them meet their own needs via whatever it is that intuitively I feel like they will benefit from the most.
100%. You want to meet them where they are and kind of intuitively guide them and see their blind spots. Often that's what I notice with my Reiki clients is that most of them that come to me, they have a lot of self-awareness, but they might have that little blind spot here that you could help them and just, bring that gently. And my practice is hands-on, so it's really interesting that you said that yours is hands-off. Yeah, but I think it depends, on the person that you're helping, whatever they
Yeah.
prefer, and
I
yeah.
don't know about you, but I feel like everybody feels energy differently. So you probably feel
Mhm.
energy better when you are hands on with somebody. And I
Mhm.
think because I was doing massage for so long before I
Wow.
started doing Reiki, that
Yeah.
I got desensitized to feeling the energy when I have my hands on somebody. So it's
Yeah.
much
That makes
easier
sense.
for me to feel the energy as I'm hovering above their body than it is when I'm
Hmm.
actually touching them. I feel
Hmm.
like I get distracted by the musculature stuff that's happening under my hands.
That makes so
Instead
much
of-
sense. Yeah, that I'm sure that's exactly why you feel more intuitive when you're off the body, because yeah, it just kind of distracts you, like, knowing all the anatomy and everything. That
yeah.
makes
Like, oh,
sense.
there's a knot right there, but that's not what I'm doing today.
Let's focus back on the energy. Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
So, I do have a question for you. I feel like for people listening that may not live close to you and would wanna, learn something that they can apply right now in their lives. Do you have any advice from everything that you've learned, and seen your bio, you have so many different certifications. I was like, wow, she's amazing. Do you have any advice that people can use right now to feel better, to feel healthier, anything?
So I would say probably the number one thing that people can do to help themselves is to manage what is happening in their mind,
Hmm.
and using either breath or meditation or reading or quiet time or whatever it is that helps you to manage what is happening inside your brain.
Hmm.
Affirmations, it's something different for everybody, right? Breath work, um, managing the thoughts that are happening in your head and understanding that you get to drive the boat with those and you get to
Mm.
respond instead of react to your own thoughts, and respond and react to what's happening outside of yourself as well. I think that's
Hmm.
probably the most powerful thing that anybody can do for themselves, because it will change your perception of literally everything that is happening around you.
Mm, hmm. I love that. That's so true. And I think the problem is, like you said, they're so immersed into their own thoughts and identifying with it. It's kind of like taking that step back and evaluating, like through meditation, through journaling, affirmations. Is this helpful? Is this, hurting me? Is this helping me?
Yep.
And curating these thoughts and choosing to live differently and think differently. Yeah, so powerful.
Yeah, I
And
can't tell you how many people come into my office and they say, "Oh, I'm old and I'm broken." And I'm like, "That's a narrative that you
mm,
taught yourself." And so your body is just manifesting that because that's what you're thinking is supposed to happen
hmm,
at
hmm.
40 or 45 or 35 or 20, because
Literally.
yeah, this is the narrative that you have taught, and your body is just following the directions that you're giving it. And so it's going to give you a broken body.
Hmm.
So if you
Hmm.
can change that
True.
thinking, it doesn't happen overnight, right? We fall back into old patterns and it's a practice just like anything else, but it will improve your life over the long term if you do consistently practice those things.
Absolutely. And it's to use an anatomy reference, it's kind of like a muscle. Like you practice over and over, choosing better thoughts for yourself, better beliefs that are
Mhm.
actually helping you and serving you.
Yep.
And you hear that all the time, like this is just how it is, this is just how I am. But that's not true. That's a belief that we choose to hang on to. That's really not helpful. If you want to choose to live a healthier, more happy life.
Yep.
So that makes a lot of sense.
And
Hmm.
everybody has the power to change their mind and their thinking about things.
Yes.
Everybody has that power. It literally costs $0.
Yeah, 100%. It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
There's the
Yeah.
podcasts and YouTube videos and, self-help books about how to do it. You could go to
Hmm.
the library and get a book that can teach you how to do all of these things, or open up a YouTube video to lead you through it. You don't have to know what you're doing, and it costs
Yeah.
$0, and it's super powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. And like you said, you don't have to pay. Like a podcast episode like this even could be a turning point for somebody hearing something in a certain way that makes it click, or, going to a library. There's so many resources, even on the internet. Like you can find so many different ways to work on yourself. And, that's it's out there for everybody.
Absolutely. Shout out to librarians. They are such an amazing resource. And
Yeah.
if they don't know somebody, somebody else in the building, or if they don't know something, somebody else in the building knows what you're looking for,
Mhm.
and can resonate with the book that you're looking for or the video that you're looking for. Use the librarians as a resource. They're amazing people.
I never thought of that, but that's so true. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, what do you see for the next 5, 10 years for yourself? What's your vision?
Hmm. I have been obviously always on a thirst for new educational opportunities. I'm
Okay.
going to a conference this year to
Nice.
have, let's see, I'm taking 3 different classes at conference, which will expand the tools in my toolbox for treating massage clients.
Mm,
Um, I'm thinking about, and this will probably happen next year, not this year. I believe I'm going to take an herbal class. So
nice.
working with herbs and making tinctures and tonics. And once I get certified in that, I will be able to prescribe those for my clients, which would be awesome.
Mm,
I'm also this year, I believe I'm also taking, I can't remember when it starts, but I'm taking a mediumship class and I'm hoping to add that
ooh,
into my Reiki, which will
yeah.
be great. Um, and then over the course of the next 5 to 10 years, I'm hoping to just continue having the practice grow and
Hmm.
continue mentoring the people in my office who continue to show up and ask for mentoring. I'm really
Hmm.
passionate about passing information down to the next generation of massage therapists and
Yeah.
helping them be successful practitioners. I am firmly of the belief that there's enough to go around for everybody. So if someone joins my practice, they are given referrals. I will
Mm,
give them all of the business tools I've learned over the last 20 years. I will do continuing education for them. I will
mm.
help them in literally any way that I possibly can. So
Amazing.
I'm really, really passionate about helping the next generation of business owners, massage
Mm,
therapists, Reiki practitioners, anybody, I mean, acupuncturists, whoever wants to join my practice, I'm open to.
yeah.
As long as they're of same mindedness and
Right.
wanting to move in the same direction. So
Lovely. Thank you so much.
possibly, yeah, yep.
So I do have a few more questions for you before we go. Thank you so much for your time. And you have such a beautiful, calming energy, and it's so nice to talk to you.
Thank you for having
Yeah,
me. I'm so happy to be
yeah,
here.
of course. So, one of the questions I like to ask my guests is if you could go back and speak to your younger self, what would you say?
Other people's opinion of you does not shape who you are,
Mm, yeah,
and
solid.
that approval from other people is not necessarily the most important thing.
Yeah.
And giving yourself that opportunity to take yourself out of that situation of whatever judgment or approval or thoughts about other people or from other people, whatever is happening, taking yourself out of that situation and again,
Mm,
managing what is happening in your mind is,
mm,
again, extremely important.
mhm.
And I think that's what I would say to my younger self.
Yeah, I love that advice. So true.
Yeah.
And so, what is your definition of a goddess?
A goddess is someone who listens to their soul's potential.
Mm,
So, anyone who is on that path of self discovery, who is working to be their best self,
mhm.
doesn't matter where you are in the journey, you're a goddess.
I love it. Beautiful answers. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And so, if people want to find you, where can they find you online?
So, I do some random Instagram posts and also on Facebook. They cross post to both platforms at Form Integrative Health, and
Mhm.
that's on Instagram and on Facebook. We also have a website where you can look up offerings that are coming up, classes, things like that, and that is youareforming.com.
Thank you, thank you. I'll put everything in the description box below for people who are wanting to reach out and connect with you and learn from you. Thank you so much for taking the time to be on the show to share your wisdom, your knowledge. You have so much, and I think we could have made this much longer. You have so much to share, so I appreciate your time.
I've loved talking to you. I appreciate you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. All
Thank
right,
you.
guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you all next week and sending you all of the love, all of the light, and the Reiki energy. Bye.